welcome. Today is a wonderful day. Today is a plant haul. This is kind of scary because we have Africanized honeybees. Over the last few weeks, I have accumulated some things and I'm very excited. So first we'll go over a tray of flowers that I got here. I didn't pick up order from Lowe's, and I did a pickup so I didn't go inside and buy plants, but when I was driving past they had signs, they had sales. These were 5 for $10. So I got 3 of these salvias. They're multi-sown in here, so I need to do some research to see if these are easy to separate, and then I'll be even cheaper than 5 for $10. And these pink dianthus, I thought these were pretty together, so I'll find a nice spot for those. Salvia, it just says salvia upright annual, full sun, growth 3 together, not hardy below 32, and then it gets 9 to 15 inches tall. And the dianthus is, it tolerates frost, 18 to 24 inches high. It's a mounding annual, but tolerates frost. And then I next went to the little crispy section, the clearance rack, and I found this Supertunia Vista Bubblegum Tunia, a trailing annual. It blooms planting to hard frost, so I guess it can tolerate a mild freeze. It is 12 to 24 inches tall, spaced on about 18 inches apart, and then, that's a weird way to word it, annual acceptance zones 10A through 11B, so it can tolerate 30 degrees. So I got this from the crispy section, and then I had to go hunting to find, because I only had one, I had to go hunting to find where the rest of them were, and got a second one. The crispy section one doesn't even look that much worse off than this one, so interesting. This caught that's actually how I found that second one. This caught my eye from across the way. Look at how pretty this flower is, and I just thought, well, they have them next to each other, so that's I'm probably not unique there, but I thought those two colors would be so pretty together. This is, what is this? A Superbena Stormburst verbena, 6 to 12 inches tall. This is also a trailing one. Annual acceptance zones 8A through 11B. So I guess this is a perennial for me. Full to part sun, fall interest. Oh, you don't have to deadhead, and drought tolerant. Excellent. So I thought these two would be really pretty. I have a raised bed, a birdie's tall round, so I thought these would be really pretty trailing out the front together, so I'm excited for that. And then I got these also from the crispy section. Nothing to showcase now. I'm hoping, to nurse these back and save me some money. Instead of $6.98, they were $4. This is a whirlwind blue fanflower. Never heard of that. This is also a trailing. Can you tell I kind of had trailing flowers on my mind? Height 8. Let me start over. Height 8 to 14 inches tall. You space these 10 inches apart. Annual except in zones 10A through 11B. So maybe with some protection, I might be able to stretch this. I'm a zone 9B. Fertilize regularly for best results. Deadheading not necessary. Ooh, bestseller, drought tolerant. Okay. So this could be good. I also found this other tray of petunias. These are Wave Series petunias. And I have a lot of empty spaces in my green stalks. I'm pretty sure these are supposed to go only in the deeper ones, the original, but I'm going to stick some in my leaf tier and just kind of see what happens. They have these 3 for $10, the Bonnie's vegetables and herbs. I really just wanted the lemon thyme because I have regular thyme. I used to have lemon thyme and regular thyme. I'm going to assume that every few years you need to divide it, and it just kind of like choked itself out and died. So I have regular thyme now, but I did not have lemon thyme. And of course you have to do the deal 3 for $10. So I just got poblano pepper and a Thai hot pepper. Oh, it says it's ornamental, so I guess this will probably look pretty. Okay, this was a week or 2 ago. I found this at Home Depot. Look at that flower. This is, what is this? A lantana purple trailing. This is part of their sustainable smart, you know what? This is Smart Planet. I thought this was I don't know, my brain auto-corrected this to water wise. So I was planning on putting these around the big native tree we have because my mind thought that meant that this doesn't need a lot of water. So maybe I need to look that up and see. But I thought this would be so pretty if it would just creep around under the tree and throw up these blooms. And then I have these strawberries that I found. They have red blooms. These are called sweet berry strawberries. They are great for baking, jams, jellies, smoothies, ever-bearing. So these were $15, and that's a lot if you're thinking about buying one strawberry plant. But there are several in here that it says you don't need to transplant this out, which is crazy because it also says 12 to 15 inch spacing. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be separating these out, and you can't have too many strawberries. Now this, I got 2 of these. This is one of the things I'm most excited about. I found this at a local nursery of mine. Bushel and Berry Raspberry Shortcake. This is a dwarf thornless raspberry bush. I actually have been eyeballing this, but the reason I didn't order it online is because it requires 800 chill hours and we only get 500. I asked the worker at this nursery. He kind of didn't look like he understood what I was saying, but I asked him, you know, you carry this, it says it needs 800 chill hours, we only get 500, and he basically was just like, you know, we wouldn't carry it if it wouldn't work, and you can kind of add more chill hours by shading it and whatnot. So just basically do what I can during the winter to get this as many hours at 45 degrees as possible. Oh, it has a couple of raspberries on it. So, I don't know. I really wanted this. I like raspberries. Raspberries in general typically require a lot of chill hours, and I definitely wanted something thornless and something dwarf. Because, you know, your raspberries, your blackberries, they can spread and you need a lot of space. And I don't have a lot of space for this. So this was just absolutely perfect. And I was very happy to find this. Back here, I have another thing that I have been looking for. That is the Wurtz, W-U-R-T-Z, Wurtz Little Cotto avocado. So it is a dwarf self-pollinating avocado tree. Very excited about that. I had previously seen earlier this year a dwarf avocado tree at Lowe's, but that one was just labeled dwarf avocado tree. It didn't say any particular variety, and it said that it required a pollinator. Whereas when I was doing research, I knew there is a dwarf avocado variety called Wurtz Little Cotto that is self-pollinating. So I had been keeping my eyes peeled for that one. I could have bought it online for $99, but I didn't really want to do that. And I happened to come across one in Home Depot for $40. So I snatched that up real quick. Here I have some little seedlings of mine. I don't have a heat mat, and these shishito peppers were taking forever, so I basically thought to myself, you know what? Arizona is my heat mat, and I put them outside, and guess who germinated? So, if you're getting hot during the days, just stick them outside. We're definitely also above 50 every single night at this point. Otherwise, if we were still hot in the day and cold at night, what you can do is put them outside during the day and bring them inside at night. But I didn't have to do that, and now they're finally germinating. These next things, these are awesome. So we made a friend through the pest control company we use. We normally get the same employee who comes to do the spraying. Well, it sounds bad on a gardening channel, but we kept having black widows nesting at the front door. So my sister, just who owns the house, decided to get a pest control so we get sprayed a few times a year. But we made a friend through that employee, and we can actually, he says he does a lot of stuff, so we can contract him for help on other things. But he also gardens. I shared I think a cabbage plant with him earlier this fall, and we talk about gardening all the time. So he, this time, when he last came over to do some work, shared his seeds with me, his little plants that he started growing. So I have a tomato. I know he said one of them was an early girl tomato, so that's awesome. And the second tomato, so early girl, oh, brandywine. So awesome. 2 tomatoes, a brandywine and an early girl. This one here, oh, an eggplant. This is an eggplant, which is good because my eggplant that I started was part of my whole situation earlier this year where I had aphids inside. So good to have a backup for sure. And then a yellow zucchini. I've never grown a yellow zucchini. I've normally just grown the green one, so that's exciting too. The last thing I snatched up were citrus. Oh my goodness, they have these sleeves. They're smaller than you find when they're in their normal nursery pots, but they were only $24, and they were all semi-dwarf. So I got the Cara orange semi-dwarf, very exciting. Everyone says that this one is really delicious. Then I got Bear's Lime semi-dwarf. I hear this name a lot, but I don't know if that's just particularly for the flavor or for, you know, just that it's easily accessible and popular. The last one, of course, a Meyer lemon, also semi-dwarf. So all of these are semi-dwarf. They say you can space them. They say on the tag, grow 3 together. I don't know if they specifically mean, you know, growing 3 nearby is good, or if they specifically mean the 3 in a hole method where you plant 3 trees in one hole and they, you know, kind of communicate through their roots and grow together symbiotically. So I don't know if that's what they mean. I'll need to try to Google that. But it says spacing 6 to 10 feet apart. And that is, of course, if you don't want to squeeze them any closer and push it further by making sure you're staying on top of pruning. So I'm definitely going to do the 6 feet apart, which is the bottom of that recommendation, 6 to 10 feet. And I might even squeeze them a little closer when that time comes. We're going to be finding a spot and hopefully trimming up the tree in the back to allow more sunlight in the very back of the yard to plant these in the ground. Citrus does very well here. They can tolerate the sun. They can tolerate the heat. They do require more water to get established, but of course they also are part of those tropical trees that don't like to have too much water on their roots at one time and need really good drainage. So they just thrive here, and tons of yards here and even businesses have citruses growing. So I'm sure once they're established, you don't need to irrigate further and they can kind of tap into the ground water. Otherwise, I don't think you'd see quite so many here, but very excited for some fresh homegrown citrus. Okay, so I surely won't be able to plant everything from my plant haul, but I do want to prioritize the couple of things that I got from the crispy section for obvious reasons. So I'm going to be starting first behind me in this bed that I had for flowers. I have this Birdie's round tall bed that I had full of flowers for the spring. It was full of ranunculus and a couple freesias, but the ranunculus ate everything up. You couldn't really see the freesias. And my snapdragons, which are still here. I pulled the ranunculus out for the most part. I think there's one in the back, but I pulled them out and put them under the tree back there. That is totally an experiment, but I do know that while they're dormant for the summer, they're not going to want to be watered, so they can get rotted out. And honestly, that's perfect because that's probably not going to get a drop of water until monsoon season, and the tree will surely suck up any excess moisture. So totally an experiment. I don't know if they're going to come back, especially because I moved them before the foliage fully died back, but we'll see. You can see the soil level has definitely sunk. The first thing I'm going to do is pull all this mulch back and fill this up. I'm going to take a chance because snapdragons have such long stems. I'll maybe try to avoid covering them as fully as I am around the edges with some extra soil, but I think they'll be okay. Oops. I just ripped up this poor plant. Oh, how funny. This is Ami, which you can guess is related to carrots. Which I think would mean this is toast because I just ripped this out. How sad. Maybe I'll save this and try my luck at putting it back in. Did my best to grab all the mulch, but I did not get everything, so I am going to be adding fertilizer in here to make up for any lost nitrogen while this tries to break down the mulch. They are pretty root bound, so I'll loosen these up a little. got them all planted, even with one of them being from the crispy section, them being root bound, and it being a very hot day today. They look so pretty already. I cannot wait to see them trailing down the front. The last couple of things I need to do is water them in. I'm gonna water them in with a water soluble organic fertilizer to help with that transplant shock and to settle them in nice and lovely, make them happy. Then I need to replace the drip and the mulch, and this will be done. Ooh, I bought an extra quick connect here so that I can switch this valve to off, take off the hose, and boom, we're switched. Snapdragons. My new flowers. Oh, how pretty. I like the purple one.
Me too. Those are the ones that caught my eye from across the way.
Yeah. Wow, look at you, a little flower farmer. Okay, that's gonna be it for today. I don't think I'm gonna have time before the sun sets to really dig into any other planting, so I'm gonna leave this video here. This is where we worked today. We planted our Supertunia Vista Bubblegum petunias and Superbena Superbena Stormburst verbena. Thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe and let me know if you have any questions, comments, and concerns. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.